The place in Yemen. We got tear gas at the embassy in Cairo. Iraq militias are talking about hitting at U.S. interests over there. What is going on?
Well, I think it's very simple when you go back and understand that the Arab Spring got co-opted by radical Islamists. They headed under the mask of democracy and freedom, but what they ended up doing was created chaotic situations all across the Maghreb, where you have al-Qaeda in the Maghreb that's quite strong in North Africa, Tunisia, Libya, and Egypt. Then you also now see what's going on in Yemen, where you have al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, and once again you see a resurgence of al-Qaeda in Iraq. This was a coordinated attack against sovereign United States land, which is what an embassy is, and we've lost an ambassador. And I think our response is very important.
You know, Congressman, let me ask you, will you answer the question that Bing West just posed to the president, if he could ask him a question? Has the president authorized the Marines going into Libya to use lethal force? You yourself, a former member of the military, how do you feel about that, and do you think that the answer is yes?
The answer has to be yes. We don't want to see the type of situation back in Lebanon where we sent the Marines in. We gave them very nebulous rules of engagement. The terrorist group Hezbollah saw that they did not have their magazine and their weapons, and they ran a truck bomb through the gate. So we have to make sure that we have the proper rules of engagement for them to go in and protect themselves, protect the sovereign American territory, and not try to do this as some type of political correct police action.
And if we do want to take action, maybe we could start in Libya, in the town of Darna. We believe, and you fought this war in Iraq, they sent outside Saudi Arabia more terrorists to the insurgency than anybody else. And that's where many people believe this group came from that assassinated our ambassador. But real quick, I want to get Bing West said that he does not believe the story that nobody, just this low-level officer, public affairs officer, approved the statement and the tweet that went out from Egypt. His name is Larry Schwartz. He's on the job right now. He only checked with one person before he gave out that conciliatory tweet condemning the movie, not the people storming the embassy. What do you believe?
Well, first of all, the only thing I can believe is what was presented, and we should not have made some type of conciliatory, apologetic stance in the middle of our embassies being attacked. We should have sat back and understood that just because someone puts a Facebook video out there, that's not a reason for us to lose an ambassador and have our sovereign land attacked. And we should not take this apologetic stance, which is a reason why you have allowed a lot of this to happen. When you think about the president's trip to Turkey, to Saudi Arabia, and also to the university there in Cairo, Egypt, we have sent a sense of weakness to them and an apologetic position, a policy of appeasement, and this is exactly what you get. And really, it's shades of what happened during the Carter administration is what you're starting to see.
Yeah, you know what, the way you voiced it, it was pretty much what Mitt Romney said yesterday, and then he wound up taking questions from the traveling press pool with him, and 7 of them were absolutely hostile toward him.
Well, they are absolutely hostile because for whatever reason they have to protect the president, and they're going to close station around him. And I think that's what you see from the mainstream media, is trying to really make the story about Mitt Romney and not what is happening in all across the Maghreb and Yemen, and also now it seems going to happen in Iraq.
Okay, Congressman, I wanted our viewers, I don't know if you can see our screen, but I want them to see that this is live picture right now of Cairo, where the violence and the protests continue. I'm not sure exactly what's going to calm that down at this point. But Congressman, moving forward, I know that you think that we should teach these nations a lesson by bringing our diplomats home. Is that true?
Yeah, I think that we need to, absolutely, because right now, if you don't take a strong stance, you're being very Pavlovian. You're going to continue to reward this type of negative behavior. I know that people are saying that these governments don't believe in the stances that these people are taking. Well, these governments have to understand that they're responsible for the stances that these people are taking. I don't think that anyone has to worry about an embassy here in the United States of America being attacked by any certain type of mob or something of that nature. So they have a responsibility, and if they're not willing to own up to that responsibility, we need to send a very clear message.
And you believe that we should send their ambassadors home as well, get them off our soil? Send them home?
I believe we should, until they can come to a resolution and understand where they stand as far as, you know, what direction they're going to take their country in. If they're going to allow their country to continue to harbor radical Islamists, then we are not going to see them as an ally. And I think that's the most important thing.
Lieutenant Colonel, if we disengage from them because of these mobs, is there a danger in that?
Well, Brian, there's already a danger. I mean, so to do nothing is the wrong approach to this. And understand, in that part of the world, the only thing that they recognize is strength and might. To continue to talk about let's take more time. There's an interesting maxim that the Taliban has over in Afghanistan. They say that the Americans have watches, but we have time. So we continue to go down the path of saying, let's wait this out, let's see what's going to happen. You're just reinforcing their bad behavior, and we have to stop this right now.
Colonel, you just said a moment ago we've got to send a clear signal. Do we have a clear foreign policy over there?
No, we don't. The only foreign policy that we have is a foreign policy of appeasement, a foreign policy of apologizing, a foreign policy of continuing to misread what is happening. As I said, you know, maybe Hosni Mubarak was not the best guy, but he was our guy, and he kept a lot of this tension under wrap, just the same as back with the Shah of Iran. And when you allowed the Shah of Iran to be deposed, you got the radical Ayatollahs, you got the resurgence of radical Islamism through Hezbollah, Hamas, and look what you have today. You have a Muslim Brotherhood that truly, I don't know what the president is saying, is very definitive who they are as far as when you read their charter. And also you go back and understand there's a document called the Explanatory Memorandum that was uncovered in an FBI raid in 1991 here that talks about the Muslim Brotherhood's intent for the United States of America.
All right, Lieutenant Colonel and Congressman Allen West, always great to get your thoughts. Thanks so much.
Thank you.